Texas Parks and Wildlife television series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sportfish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
A lot of the birds here are very colorful. You can't beat the color of an Altamira oriole or a green jay. They're just beautiful birds. They're just wonderful to see.
It was 30 years ago that the Texas Parks and Wildlife television series got its start. To celebrate this milestone, we're taking a look back at some of the interesting stories and unique characters that we've discovered over the past 3 decades.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, taking Texans outside for 30 years.
The golden-fronted woodpecker on the orange over there.
Now, one thing you need to practice with your binoculars, you need to practice pulling up the binoculars and having what you want to see in your field of vision. So we're going to practice with this hummingbird feeder. That is a skill that bird watchers have to have.
Mr. Conway kind of got us all into birding. He's a really big naturalist person.
We asked him to create a team, and we're now a birding team for our school.
It helps a lot to intertwine the hands-on visual seeing and learning with our curriculum.
Just wait for movement there. There's good movement there. Ooh. That was close. Look at that. This is a really good park for people who aren't real knowledgeable about nature. They can come out, they can see a lot of birds.
There are over 500 species of birds in this ecoregion alone. A lot of the birds here are very colorful. You can't beat the color of an Altamira oriole or a green jay. They're just beautiful birds. They're just wonderful to see. Okay, look right here. Look right here, guys. Come look. Ooh, look on the ground right there at the end of that stump there. There's a common paraki. He's sleeping on the ground. Everybody see it? Looks just like the leaf litters. Beautiful bird. Nice.
We invite them to come in and enjoy themselves for breakfast in the morning. I'm Paul Love. I'm just a volunteer here with the Audubon Society. They give me funds to purchase feed for the birds. I keep them fed, and they enjoy it, and I enjoy it. It has sunflower seed, has peanut butter, cornmeal, oatmeal, anything I can find to put into it that I know they're gonna like. You can hear him, he's hungry.
There's stuff in the trees. Look. There's 8 of them.
Look who's on the corn on the cob.
A green jay.
Look at that.
Whoa, get it. That's awesome.
I can go to the outdoors and have something to do. And it's something, it's kind of relaxing and peaceful. You can just need your binoculars and you can do it anywhere. So that's what I like about it. And the birds are neat, to see different birds.
Look at all those chachalakas sitting there.
It's not very bright, but I like the noise it makes.
It'd be a good ringtone, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Chachalaka, chachalaka, chachalaka.
My favorite probably is the green jay. I know that's kind of like the the hallmark of South Texas down here. Everybody will come from miles around just to see that bird. It's just cool. A lot of them are like camouflage or blending in, but that one really pops out.
See the Altamira Oriole there? It's beautiful. Look how orange and black, and that's just down here in South Texas.
I actually enjoy being outside and looking at nature. Now it flew away from the feeder. There's all kinds of different species, so they have different colors or different bills, or they're just larger or smaller.
Oh, on this right hummingbird feeder is another golden-fronted woodpecker. You see it?
Yes.
Drinking that sweet nectar. When you see the top of the head, see that little red spot on the top of the head? That's a male.
That's pretty clever. Wow, there's a lot more birds than I realized. So now I'm looking at birds more, I guess, than I had before. So it's fun.
This is South Texas, it's Mother Nature. Kids need to understand that and learn how Mother Nature provides for everybody out here.
This project was funded in part by Wildlife Restoration Funds.
One thing about the land, you cannot hurry it. What I've gotten from the Big Woods, it's made me slow down and take a deep breath and have a better perspective of life and what's important and what's beautiful. I'm Robert F. McFarlane. The Corps of Engineers calls me the Green Jesus. Ray Sasser of the Dallas News, in the first article written about this place, christened me the High Priest of the Big Woods. So if you want something snooty, that's as good as any. I like to joke, and I just think it's better to go through life having a hoot. The land is a place where there are no boundaries psychologically for me, and I thrive on that.
Dr. McFarlane he's an extremely smart fellow. This man works hard at knowing his land. He studies it intimately. He's on it every day, and you can't beat that as far as knowing what's going on in terms of ecological details and how to handle the land.
The unique thing is the size and the perspective. Behind us here is an emergent marsh. It's an artificially created wetland. Before it was just open land. It was basically old cattle pasture. And Doc created a levee around it and put a water control structure on it, so now he's able to hold water and manage that water. We get significant benefits for all migratory water birds.
He's done a lot of waterfowl habitat work and a lot of deer management work, all influenced by the river.
And in the river bottom, you don't have to fertilize. Every time they flush a toilet in Dallas, it saves me a bag of fertilizer. Hunters can be the best conservationists as well as some of the users. Our duck hunting is normally really good. We have really good dogs. We have 40 to 45 marshes and over 100 miles of roads. We plant about 50 food plots. We have feral hogs here, and the folks from the Midwest find that just an exquisite pleasure. So our business has turned out to be pretty good despite my personality.
We host a waterfowl brigades camp. He graciously lets us bring about 50 people out here 1 week each summer. And he gets real enjoyment out of knowing people are using the place for something other than hunting and fishing and really teaching these kids that conservation ethic that he's got.
When I started buying all this land and I sold what stocks I owned, and my friends thought I was crazy, and they were correct. And I think this was a form of insanity, but I think it was a beautiful insanity, and I'm happy to have been crazy. I gave the big woods to my children this last year. As Faulkner said in The Bear, this land is really only held in trust. I've tried to keep the big woods true to what I see as the laws of nature. And it's a place where you can go and be in the wild and see the animals and just be.
If you're anywhere close to the Texas coast, you're likely not far from a fishing pier.
Pier fishing is very accessible and very easy.
You got one? And whether you are an experienced or an aspiring angler, a sea of fishing opportunity awaits.
Everybody's equal on that pier. Everybody's got the equal chance to catch the fish.
I fish.
Say them drum users like crab.
Victor Fontenot and his friend Daryl Bean have come to Galveston from Houston to catch redfish.
Hard head.
Or at least something other than hard-head catfish.
Thought I had something decent.
I just like being out here, you know. It's just nice to get outdoors, you know. This is a place to be.
Hope I catch something like that again.
Now what is this? Looks like a little different one though.
Craig Weeks and his son, Dan, are visiting from Illinois.
He's looking at you.
Like some of the other folks out today, they're new to saltwater fishing.
Oh, it took all my bait.
And that means the pier is a good place to be.
This guy got two at the same time, look.
It's a great way to start. There's piers up and down the coast that will rent fishing equipment to you. Talk to the folks on the pier about what's biting and how to catch it, and you'll be underway in about 5 minutes.
All right, Dan. I'm a total novice at fishing, as is Daniel. Everybody's been helping us out a lot in helping identify the fish and getting off the hook and just explaining everything too. Yellowtail and silver perch. That's a neat looking fish.
Oh, yeah.
He had said he wanted to catch a shark. I didn't think there was a chance in the world that he would.
Look at that.
Oh! I just couldn't believe it.
Gonna touch him. Just so excited.
Very awesome.
Meanwhile, Victor has some success.
Red.
There's something big on his line, and he hopes it's a redfish.
Yeah, he running with it. See if I let him weigh himself or not. Daryl, go ask them people, do they have a net? I'll get him in and make it all worthwhile.
After a long fight,
got it?
And with a little help from his friend,
got it. Thank you, Lord.
Victor brings in his catch.
All right. Ooh, that's a big one. Oh, yeah. That's a nice one now.
It's an almost 3-foot-long bull red.
35.
35.
A saltwater fishing license includes a tag to keep just one of these fish per year.
I gotta put this tag around his tail.
Victor has his.
I need a camera now. Show the fellas.
Pier fishing is it's the way to go. It's relaxing, inexpensive. That's the best part. You know, for $7, $8, you spend 24 hours fishing, if you can stand it.
And you catch all different kinds of fish, red, drum, sheephead, flounder.
What is it? Redfish?
I don't know. Feels like a big one.
It's a drum.
Yeah. Let's get the net if you don't mind.
While the greatest variety of Gulf and Bayside piers may be found around Houston and Galveston, there is plenty of pier fishing all along the coast.
Yeah. Look at there.
Though the services or catch of the day may vary,
This is my first fish that I catch in my life.
a few things don't.
Everybody's got stories. Some of them are even true.
I haven't caught big fish like these guys. The biggest fish I caught was
It was massive. It was massive.
6.5 foot hammerhead. The biggest one I've caught is a 6'11" blacktip.
About this big.
Oh, about a 52-inch redfish. Right here is a tiger shark. Caught him out that way.
An 8'3" tiger shark off of this pier.
No fish stories here.
I swear.
My witness is all right here.
North of Corpus Christi, near Rockport, the pier at Goose Island State Park has long been a favorite spot to fish Aransas Bay. For many, fishing here is a family tradition.
Ever since I've been a little kid, been coming out here.
You caught a flounder.
It seems those who spend the most time pier fishing can have fun even without the fish.
He's a keeper. At least I caught a fish now. Even if we didn't catch the flounder, we still had a good time. But it's nice to prove to the wives that we did go fishing.
I've only fished in the ocean once.
On any given day,
It's been a long time since I've been fishing.
all along the Texas coast, there are folks enjoying fishing piers.
Except for the part that we haven't caught any fish.
A little blacktip.
The fishing may be fast-paced,
We've been catching a whole bunch of these this size.
or the fishing may be slow. But even then, there's good reason to be on a pier.
Just to relax and just enjoy the view.
Maybe we all need a place to do that now and then.
Fishing is not just about catching fish.
It's more like an art than a science. And like art, everybody appreciates it in a different way.
It's relaxing. It's just beautiful out here.
Fishing is about being out here on the water, meeting folks, attempting to catch a fish. But if we don't catch a fish, it don't matter because we went fishing.
It was 30 years ago that the Texas Parks and Wildlife television series, originally known as Made in Texas, got its start. To celebrate this milestone, we're taking a look back at some of the interesting stories and unique characters that we've discovered over the past 3 decades. For the very first story on the very first show, we took a ride on the Texas State Railroad.
The state prison system, using convict labor, began building the Texas State Railroad back in the late 1800s to serve an iron furnace and other industries near Rusk in East Texas. After hard times brought the closing of the furnace, the line saw about 50 years of irregular service and fell into disrepair. In 1972, when the bulk of the Texas State Railroad was conveyed to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, convict labor again played an important role in rebuilding the 25 miles of track, creating an historic park dedicated to the preservation of steam locomotives and railroading's golden age.
This is engine number 500 here on the State Railroad. We acquired the engine from the city of San Angelo from the museum they had there back in 1980. A little over a year in rebuilding, we started operating the locomotive in 1981, put it into regular operation in early '82. This locomotive here weighs 138 tons. The tender back behind weighs an additional 100 tons when it's full of fuel and water. Well, you're looking at a pretty good sized locomotive for this line. It was the first locomotive that we completely rebuilt ourselves. Other locomotives we had contracted out to outside firms, but we're rather proud of this one. We was able to do all the work ourselves on this one.
Engine 500 is just one of the completely restored steam locomotives you'll find in operation at the park. Each scheduled run has a train leaving from each of the Victorian-style depots at Palestine and Rusk for a 3-hour round trip through the piney woods of East Texas. Passengers who arrive early can walk through the cab of the engine and take a closer look at a thundering giant from our past. Now it's time to find a seat, listen for the whistle, and take a trip back in time. With the faithful, eloquent voice of the engine as the fuel of imagination, you can see the reality of space-age technology take a back seat to images of an era long since past when the railroad was king. It's a unique adventure for young and old alike, creating a wealth of new experience for some and bringing back special memories for others.
When I used to read a story, especially when it was going, I think I can, a while ago. Stories for the children. And I did ride the train when I was real young. I'm really enjoying it.
To me, when I was a kid, go from Fort Worth to visit my dad's people up at Cumberland, Tennessee. And we had to spend 2 nights on the train to get up there. That's a long time. About as fast as this.
He liked going through the engine. I think he kind of backed up from the steam, though.
I like antiques, so this just brings me right back to what I like.
The Texas State Railroad is one of the state's most popular historic sites, and right now reservations are recommended for a guaranteed seat. For timetables, reservations, tickets, and more information, you can contact either the Rusk or Palestine Depot directly.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sportfish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.